What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Five Reasons Sports post game show. I actually waited for you this time, Manny. Uh, but yeah, the Heat drop another one. 101-81. Uh, it's look. I don't know how many times we can have concerning losses to bottom tier teams in the league. A team that we just beat,
Yep.
a team that was missing probably their best player, and we go out here and we lay a stinker again.
But that's a team that we barely beat. Let's make sure we like this. Definitely puts a lot more context on that last game.
Yeah, absolutely. So we did barely beat them, but Michael, what did you see from tonight's game, just in general?
Man, it's hard to think of what we did see that we liked, right? I mean, sure, Nunn had another decent game, right? What did he have? I think Nunn had 22 points, and he was in way too early because his Dragic got into foul trouble. So he was pretty good, but there was nothing else on this team that was promising, exciting, or that you want to see moving forward. I mean, this was one of those games where by the time they took that, 10-point lead in the third quarter after we came back and tied it, you're just kind of like, all right, pack it up, get ready for whatever you can put out there tomorrow against the Nets, because that's not going to be pretty.
Well, I think the Nets end up losing tonight too to the Cavs again. But you talked about that 10-point lead that they grew in the third quarter, and I want to make sure that I give our dude Clutch his just due. But he texted me about it, and we were texting throughout the game, and he was just like, "What was up with that lineup that Spo put out there?"
Mm-hmm.
And we just eventually gave up 10-0 run. But there was a lot of bad performances.
Look, on that lineup thing, I really hope that she's not watching, because I don't want her to think that we like her, right? I want her to think that we don't. But Alana mentioned it, and I've always thought it. I just never said it out loud. But sometimes the lineups with Spo, they're not. It's just not it. I don't know what he's doing, and there's no way everyone is saying where's KZ and KZ doesn't play. What's happening? What's happening?
Yeah, so the KZ thing is a bit it's confusing at this point, because you saw in this game Gabe Vincent, he started, he was horrific. Has he seen one shot that he doesn't like?
Yo, listen. It felt like everybody on this team that makes a decent amount of money was passing the ball around looking for an open shot, and then the moment it hit Nunn or Gabe Vincent, they're just like, I'm just gonna throw it up there. Let's just go for it.
But see, with Nunn, though, you can respect it because he's found his groove, and I want to make sure that we give him his just due because of all.
I want to see it against somebody else. It might just be Tampa.
It
might
may
be Tampa or the Raptors. I want to see it against another second team.
It might be, but I mean, you got to admit, after 10 months of not seeing shit from Nunn, it's nice to see some positive games. Him string together a few games. Hopefully, he can maintain that thing, but up that trade value so we can get your ass up out of here.
That's what I'm saying. Hey, trade him right there. Don't let him leave Tampa. You call up the Raptors and you say, "Hey, you've got a point guard who's not even playing. We have a point guard who's scoring. What do you say? You want to make a little swap?"
So, but yeah, somebody asking who gave Gabe the green light. I think just
Gabe.
the situation.
Gabe gave the green light. That's a hard one to say really fast, actually.
Yeah, like that's actually. So we got our man Jonathan Ramlakan joining us. Ramlakan, of course we know. Y'all know one of my favorite phrases is calling the game a shit show. This definitely qualifies. What did you see from tonight's shit show?
The zone was lazy. We were slow to recover on the zone. We were playing the zone. We were allowing shooters to pump fake us out the room. Every time somebody would pump fake, we would bite on it, and then it would just leave an open shot because we'd be 5-on-4 at that point in time. Too many turnovers again. I think we're 1-6 now with 10 turnovers in the first half. I'm not sure how much we ended up with, but another garbage game when it comes to turnovers. Kendrick Nunn, it was nice to see him play good again. It seems like he has his confidence back, which is good for a guy who's a bucket getter. You know what I mean? You don't want Kobe didn't have confidence. Shooters that bucket getters didn't have confidence. J.R. Smith didn't have confidence. You know what I mean? So no matter what the level is, what Kendrick Nunn is, seeing him have that confidence, it was nice to see him back. Too many threes, way too many threes given up. We were giving up threes to just about everybody, and that kind of goes out to the zone, and that goes out to the biting on the pump fakes. But I mean, it was just rough. We got close. Third quarter was nice. Third quarter was probably our best quarter. You know what I mean? This is like a reverse season where we only have one not turd quarter, and then the rest of the quarters are turd quarters. So we have a bunch of turd quarters now, and it's just, I mean, we're below the Knicks, and that's just embarrassing.
I mean, at this point, can we even call them turd quarters? Like,
I mean,
they're just quarters at this point.
Yeah, they're just quarters. Like, it's not any one in particular. It's just all of them.
Yeah. So I want to touch on a few things that you talked about. You talked about 3-point shooting. We gave up 17 threes tonight. We only made 7. We shot 31. Man, Clutch said Deft had a good game tonight, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you talked about turnovers. I tried to stay away from it because I've been talking about it all season long. But you cannot stay. We had 19 turnovers. They turned it over 22 times, but we still had 19 turnovers. We're just giving the ball away. And I saw somebody talking about the refs in the comments, and
no,
I want to give it some credence. There were some calls that were a bit questionable, but the point that I want to get to, and I'm gonna throw this to you, Michael, is Bam Adebayo playing like he's looking for calls.
Yeah.
I think, Jonathan, you made that point on our last post-game show where it looks like Bam is just throwing his hands up looking for foul calls. He's not getting them. And as a result, his game is being thrown off. So, Mike, talk something about that.
I mean, his game is it's looking really passive. The definite COVID year. They said, "Yo, Adams, hey, listen, Adam,
let me answer him real quick. Right now, James Harden has 19 points, and Kendrick Nunn had 22. So that's all I'm gonna say.
And he was our leading scorer.
Yeah, and he was our leading scorer.
Sure,
it would have been a 40-point blowout if it wasn't for Kendrick Nunn.
I mean, look, I said this before the game on that Kendrick Nunn stuff. If Kendrick Nunn is the reason why you're in games, you're not going anywhere. That's just the fact. I mean, it just is what it is. But with Bam, he looks too passive. He looked too passive tonight. What was it? Andre Iguodala. I don't really want to see him shooting a lot of shots, but he was only looking to pass unless it was a random 3 near the end of the shot clock. Goran Dragic wasn't able to play much because of the injuries, but it looked like everyone's just trying to pass the ball too much. And then the only people that were shooting were Gabe Vincent, Kendrick Nunn, and Duncan Robinson, who I'm fine with shooting, but they were double teaming him all night. So it's hard for him to get up a clean shot. Right. So I don't know. Bam, I don't know what it is. One game he'll come out super aggressive in the basket. The next game he's not. Just pick one or the other. I don't know if they're just waiting for a full team to come back, but something's got to change.
So 2 things. Bam was getting double teamed too. So he was making the appropriate basketball read sometimes, but sometimes you just kind of want him to say, like Clutch called, he said, breaking the offense. You want to, when you catch a switch and you have a guard on you and you're still looking to make the right pass, to me that feels like the wrong play. And the reason a lot of those guys got a chance to shoot because, like Iguodala, they were leaving him open. He was wide open, and so there was nothing that Bam could do about that. And somebody said,
and then also it feels like everybody on this team has like a specific job and they can't do anything else. Right? Like at least everybody on the floor now. The only 2 players on the floor that could play both sides of the floor well were Bam. Sorry, I said 2. There's not a second.
Hey, right? Honestly, I'm gonna give Kendrick some credit because when we were playing zone, he was playing the right way. Because
he got a couple steals, but listen. Every once in a while, when Fred VanVleet wanted to take his ankles, he took him and had him. Like Kendrick was falling over the wrong way.
Fred's a good offensive player, you know what I mean. And I just want to give credit due. Because we were shitting on Kendrick when he wasn't playing good defense. He played decent defense. He stayed on top of his zone. He did what he had to do as far as that. But yeah, I mean, didn't really
Manny's not having it.
So okay, Manny, since you're in here, I'm gonna throw this to you.
I didn't watch the game, so don't ask me shit.
Okay. Okay, that makes okay. Well, I thought it was the time.
All I know is that at my job, the FIU baseball team had a better practice than the Heat did. All right, that's all I know.
All right, so I thought it's the Jonathan.
Jonathan, you're right. We should give Nunn credit, but my man, it's coming at a point that what does it matter right now, right? Like there's nothing coming out of it that's gonna make me feel any better. I don't know about you guys.
The only thing that I can think of that makes me feel a little bit better is Nunn finding his rhythm during this series.
But I want to see this when Jimmy comes back and Hero comes back as a whole, because that's the only way we can probably make a proper analysis.
Yeah, me too. But I'm saying when they're not here, it's nice to see him being able to fill that void. Like we said, the first Raptors game, we would have never been able to win that game had it not been for Kendrick Nunn.
That's true.
Game, we wouldn't have been in it without Kendrick Nunn. But I wanted to throw this to you. Tonight we played Goran Dragic 30 minutes, and we played Andre Iguodala 21 minutes. Ramlakan, how can we survive playing both of our old guys that much?
We can't. It's going to catch up to us. You know what I mean? It's going to catch up to us, and that's all it is.
They had no legs. They had no legs, Jonathan. They had no legs after that run in the third.
Exactly. Because, when you go down 20, and we talked about this in the Detroit game that we actually came back and won. When you go down 20 against a team that's good and you have to work your way back, like Manny said, you run out of your legs. You know what I mean? You can only push for so long, and you can only go, keep on 100 miles per hour for so long. You can't do it the entire time. So for us to have won this game, we would have to start doing it in the first quarter when we were down 20. When we gave up 38 points or 37 points in the
they were shooting like 75% from the 3-point line.
It was like
no. It was 80. That. They were 8 for 10. They were
80%. But we were giving up good looks. That's the thing. We weren't giving. We weren't making those shots hard. I think Norman Powell had like 11 in the first quarter. You know what I mean?
I don't even know who Norman Powell is. Like I do, but I don't know. I don't give a.
We weren't competing defensively, and we weren't scrambling defensively like we were the last game. Last game, we were making the 3-point shots hard, and we talked about it. Toronto is the best 3-point shooting team in the league. They make the most in the league, and we did a good job last game. We held them to, I think, 10% under what they're used to, and then it corrected itself. Stats correct itself, and numbers, like Tony used to say, water follows its level, and they found its level this game, and they smoked us because of that.
Bro, what is this thick royal thing? Can we put it in? Can we put an end to this? On top of that, they spell thick wrong.
Well, okay, but you know what? That first quarter, though, who played some of the worst defense that first quarter, and I think it improved later on. But none was awful at the point of attack in that first quarter.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up the defense, Mike. Like, can we? What was my live reaction to this game? No. Don't you dare. I'm trying to act. We're trying to make this show straight laced. I'm asking good questions. Don't interrupt us, Adam. But Michael, you brought up the defense.
Yeah.
What is wrong with this team's defense? It just seems to be non-existent at this point.
Slow feet, man.
Yeah, I mean, slow feet. Who are the defenders, right? You have defensive specialists, sure, but on a team that's passing the ball around really well and shooting decent from outside tonight, nobody's moving quickly enough to get there, right? You had Max Strus out there. How many minutes did he play? 15 minutes. Yeah, they probably took advantage of that. Kelly Nunn wasn't playing any decent defense. They definitely weren't boxing out well inside. I mean, without Jimmy, the defense just looks completely out of it.
That's the truth. So we're talking about without Jimmy. We've talked about Bam not being as aggressive as we would like to see him. Talked about Kendrick Nunn.
Wait, can we talk about Harkless running behind the scorer's table? Did nobody else notice that?
Yeah, I mean,
bro, like he was
they actually got a bucket. They actually got a bucket out of that too.
But he was jogging too. Like he wasn't even running too hard. He was kind of like slowly because he's useless on offense. Did you watch him on offense? He stood in the corner and didn't even look at the ball. He's just kind of like, all right, what's happening?
You guys watch
get him out of here.
Effort on defense in that first quarter. Every single three he missed, the man that was covering him beat him to the basket. On the other, every single time.
So I also want to talk.
That blows my mind.
It's
and then Bam with the turnovers too in the first quarter.
Now Bam with the turnovers. Look, I said this. Like during these games, I'm not going to harp on Bam and his turnovers. He's taking on additional responsibilities in terms of facilitating without Tyler and Jimmy in there. So that's par for the course when something like that happens. Here's what I do want to talk about. I want to talk about KZ Okpala and. What is it?
Why? He's not going to play. No. Why are we going to talk about him? He's not going to see the floor.
Why?
He has to be the worst practicing NBA player in the history of the NBA. That's the only explanation. Either that, or he said something about Spoelstra's wife, and Spoelstra didn't take it well. Those are the only two things I can think of. Like, what's happening?
Ramlakan, you got any hypothesis?
As far as, I mean, what can you say about that? I was looking at the comment thinking about what players Royals are better. I think if you plugged in the corner, you probably might hit some shots or at least keep your hands up above your waist so they think you're going to try to get the ball. You know what I mean?
I think Royal and Max Strus would have some similar play styles.
I would say that I wouldn't put no money on that.
Guys, if I could say this real quick, I think it's now becoming – it's not free KZ anymore. It's where the F is KZ because, obviously, once again, he had an opportunity to play more minutes and he gets put into the fourth quarter in a meaningless situation game, right? But everybody else plays. So it's not free KZ anymore. It's what the hell is KZ? What the hell's going on?
Manny, we got the dono.
For a team that's stacked with wings.
We got the dono. We got to do it.
Yeah.
Hold on, you gotta give me a second now because it's not in my profile.
Do your thing.
That's right. Never mind.
I go ahead and find it, but I hate him so much, bro. Like I really do.
You're worth it.
Y'all suck.
I'm not pressing it. It's not even me, dude. I'm telling you else.
I can only see one of many hands, so I'm guessing it was Manny. But somebody said that they don't think Bam is ready just yet. Like some games he does look ready, some games he doesn't, and I think they're talking about Bam taking that next leap. Look, I think Bam is at the point now where he understands that he can take over games. He's just figuring out when he needs to do it, and I don't understand how he's not seeing his opportunity now. Do you have any explanation for it? Either one of you guys, anybody?
I think it's just the turnovers. You know what I mean? When he starts to turn over the ball, like he loses a little bit of his aggressiveness. You know what I mean? And he'll have these turnovers early, and he'll make the right pass, but it'll be towards his feet or something like that, where it's not the perfect pass just yet, and then he becomes a little bit less aggressive. So, Bam's a max player now, and you want him to impact the game like a max player. And the thing with Bam is you just don't notice him on the court when he's not actually, imposing himself. So it's hard to answer why it is with Bam because, you see him in these practice videos and these Team USA videos where he's cooking players, where he's hitting, crossover dribbles against, Jason Tatum, and he's dunking on him. But it seems to be when he's on the court, he just doesn't have that confidence just yet. So it might just be a confidence thing for him where he has to get confidence in his, his play style and in being aggressive and being the leader of the team. And, he's still 23. He's averaging almost 20, 10, and 5, and that's still a decent stat line. You just want it to impact the game a little more.
Okay, listen, I'm sorry. I'm trying to do this properly, but these comments are killing me, bro.
Hold on. We can sit here and dissect this game all night. This team has so many problems. None of us know the exact answer to solve them, right? We might as well have fun at your expense, Royal. I don't care.
You know what? And I just kind of want to let's talk about the rotation, the Royal in the Heat rotation. Bro, listen, I don't know if I said this before. I absolutely suck at playing the game of basketball. Okay?
Don't do it. Don't do it when the colors change.
Call him in here. Send the invite. Yeah. Bro, hold on, bro. So look, I'm just gonna kind of give away a little bit, bro. There are many more videos that have been.
And you can probably find them next Clutch Corner. So
yes,
tune in on Tuesday.
That's a small little plug. Watch Clutch Corner because there are videos out there that I didn't particularly care to be found, and like the investigative journalist he is, Clutch found them all. Okay,
investigative journalist, bro. I don't think he knows enough big words to be a journalist.
Listen, bro, I'm trying to give him some credit. I'm trying to give him a little cred on the post-game stream.
Dude, the show is named after him. Let's be nice about it.
Yeah, somebody said if this turns stupid, then I'm out of here. Well, then see you later, alligator. Because
Serious question. Who are the bigs on the Nets? Because they traded them all away, right?
Oh yeah, just DeAndre Jordan. Talking about we
Oh,
can
just okay. Well, that's a pretty decent big.
I guess we can move a little bit into the next game because that game is coming up tomorrow. So okay. So the Nets have dropped 2 games back to back to the Cavs, which means that there is an opportunity for a game to be stolen.
I don't care about the Nets, man. I care about this team and how shitty it looks.
No. We're playing next, right? So why did they drop the game?
Listen. Until you come out with much better damn energy, with much better focus, it doesn't matter who your opponent is. This is something inside the locker room right now. All right, like what? Okay, so tomorrow they show up, but why couldn't you show up tonight? Why? Because now you're playing a much better opponent.
But yes. maybe
did it play? No. But hold on. But that's been a thing all season. You saw them come out against the Wizards. You saw them come out against the Wizards and just lay an egg.
What you about to say,
I would say, when you was in school and then you was gonna have a substitute teacher for 2 weeks, and Jimmy's kind of like out now, and now that first day when you'll be good for the sub. Now all these players are trying to be good, whatever. But it's been so long without Jimmy, it feels like this team has just lost its culture. You know what I mean? I don't want to say that word too much, but really we're not playing Heat basketball. We're not doing the things that made us recognizable around the league for having this culture of working hard, of having next man up and having these players play to their full potential and not slack off and do little things. Like, we would have never questioned the heart of this team during playoffs. You know what I mean? We would have never
appreciate it, Jen Will. I don't.
We never questioned the heart last year when Jimmy was on the court, but it's been so obvious that since Jimmy has been off the court, that we've had a hole in this team. This guy.
This guy's on fire tonight, though.
We have a hole in this team. You know what I mean? Like, where we just don't have the leader that we do, and everybody else is starting to slack off.
I will say this, though. When the effort started going down as well, not only when Jimmy was out, but when they lost the key voice on the bench. We all know what I'm talking about.
Leonard.
The $9 million man on the bench. Listen, we lost that voice, and where's the fire? Ain't no fire. I haven't seen any fire since he's been at home.
But no, I know you hate to say the word, but the culture in Miami should be bigger than any one player, right? Though, like you said, it's because we don't have Jimmy. But the way we played prior to having Jimmy, the years prior to that, when we had absolutely no talent on the roster, we're not seeing that level of effort at all.
But none of those guys are here anymore. It's a whole new squad that are kind of adjusted to. We just came last year.
Porter knows.
I mean, the Myers effect. But like, how many players came last year and then went to the finals in their first year? You know what I mean? Yeah. K9, Duncan, Hero, all these guys are like, all right, we came in, we made the finals. You got a little bit of chip on your shoulder because you made the finals. Now you don't got to play with that culture anymore because you're a finals team. So, those players that we had during, that 30-11 run, those scrappy players, like Isaac Okoro, Rodney Magruder, all those guys who would bust their ass because they didn't have a job. If they didn't do that, would have been, trying to make it in here. But now these guys all have a contract and they all have a name, no matter who they are. Duncan Robinson, Kendrick Nunn, these guys all have a name now because they made the finals, and now they're just not showing the effort like they were last year.
Okay, now hold on. And I'm going to and the one that I'm going to use for this comment, which is interesting, and I mean, I'm sure people will disagree with it, but you look back on the finals and we were down Bam and Goran, and we found a way to make it competitive against the Lakers. We looked a lot better than we have the past twice, right? No. Hold on.
Well, we won.
We beat them twice. We looked good against them. We were competitive. We were in the games. I understand this.
Games 1 and 2, though, were blowouts at the end of the day, though, when you think about it.
I mean, by the end of it, but regardless, I'm not going to use Jimmy and Tyler being out as an excuse for what I see as horrible effort, bad decision-making, and just an intensity that seems to be way too far out the window. And this is to Jonathan's point, culture can't just be when Jimmy's on the floor or Jimmy's on the bench. Right? If that's what it is, then what is this team going to be? What is this team going to be if he gets hurt, or if he just has to retire early, or when he is gone, right? It's just out the window. That can't happen.
That's why it's on Bam's plate now. It's on Bam's plate to lead this team.
But that's where I would say this. And the comment came up. I think to a certain degree, Spoelstra has to be semi-accountable for this. I'm not just going to say it's all Jimmy and Tyler are out, so whatever happens is fine. You can't lose by 20 to the Raptors. You can't.
That's just without Kyle Lowry.
You can't look bad against the Wizards.
Fleet scoring 13 points.
Well, you can't lose by 20 to the Detroit Pistons and the Raptors within the span of a week. Like, I'm a Spo stan. Like, I'm a big Spo supporter, but to say that he is without blame at all in this, it would be untrue. Like, Spo deserves his fair share of the blame, but Spo can't get out there and he can't play with energy. Spo can only do so much.
Here is where,
but you can change up the lineup. You can look, if you told me KZ was out there and he played poorly, then I understand why you would say he hasn't played. But you haven't even put him out there, right? Chris Silva, when he did play, I mean, the dude looks like sometimes he can't tell which hand is his right hand from his left. But when he was out there, he had some decent moments, right? You're going to tell me you're going to watch that energy and say, I don't really need to change. You're not even going to try to put them out there. That's my one place where I'm like, I don't see what's going on.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Depot and Tucker, listen, I'm with it. Cap for life. Yo, do not dissect anything but this battle cry from Royal, bro. That is just hilarious. Thank you.
Cap is on all the streams, man. Appreciate Cap.
Yeah, thank you, bro. Oh, yeah. So somebody's the Porter. Well, I guess the name Porter Vox Jr. It has me thinking about Kevin Porter and what it took to get him.
I mean, does that really change anything though?
It doesn't, but I'm just saying, for somebody to be able to get that level of talent in for that cheap, and it doesn't seem like we were even involved in the running from that. That seems like a topic for another day, but I just want to throw that out in the atmosphere.
But we don't. But I mean, I guess we just don't care about second round picks though, too, because we traded away 3 for a guy who has all the hype in the world from the fans and isn't even seeing the court. So
that's true.
That is very true. That's very true. So, really quick, what do you guys expect from the game tomorrow? Michael, we'll start with you.
Oh, don't put that on me.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Listen, man, I think I'm going to end up like your video, right? That'll probably be me just catching the score after. I'm not even sure I'll watch it. I don't know. You saw the colors change, so it's probably coming. Listen, one of those 3 guys is going to drop at least 40, right? Like, I would say 50-50 seems a little high, but I'm going to say 40 because they'll probably be up enough that they don't need to play the rest of the game. So maybe KD and Kyrie drop 40 and they just sit the whole fourth quarter, if not half of the third quarter as well. I don't know. Hey, I think you're cutting the nets a little short there.
Some people have no faith in this team.
It's hard, man. It's hard to have faith in this team.
By the way, Noah might be correct on the Brooklyn points scored, but he has to also remember that the Nets don't play defense.
Right.
They score 100 after the third. So.
Yeah, that's also true. So, Maddie, since you jumped in there, man, what are you expecting from tomorrow's game?
Are you sure you want me to answer that question?
Not entirely, but we're going to go for it anyway.
All right, so this is what I think is going to happen. Coach Spo is going to talk like this.
Listen, in 10 years when Twitter is still like up and rampant in this crazy thing, and that's the reaction video people use, I'm going to know we made it.
That's going to be a joke in the future.
In all seriousness, I would hope this conversation already took place. But at some point, with Spo knowing that Jimmy wasn't going to be back for a while, this is like the perfect opportunity where I thought Bam had to not obviously lead the team, but try to take over it as a whole, right? Not by only doing it on the court, but doing it off it. When the times get tough, when the situations are now up against the wall, okay? Because at some point, the man making the most money in the room is going to have to do something, right? Like, if this loss doesn't upset you, Bam, man, I don't know what else to try to put together. I just don't know. Because the one guy that we know would not accept this is not playing, and that's Jimmy.
That's true.
All right? And these losses to Detroit, like you said, Roy, Detroit, Toronto, what the hell is this?
these are bad losses.
Hey, yeah. So sorry, before Jonathan goes, and I'll let Jonathan answer the question first. Then, do we think we're panicking here? Obviously, I don't think that we're going to lose by 70 to the Nets. That would be something. But expecting a loss tomorrow the way we've been performing isn't that big a deal. Jonathan, do you think we're panicking?
I mean, no, we're just looking at the team realistically. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're not saying anything like we can't get better when Jimmy comes back, or this is the ceiling for this team, or anything like that. You know what I mean? But you know, we're not panicking. We're just looking at this team how it is. Our biggest win streak was just snapped at 2. Like that is what it is. You know. And as far as tomorrow goes, I do think we're going to be able to put on a little bit of a offensive showcase where we score more points than we did today. What we scored today, 81 points. And like Royal said, I think we only hit 7 threes. So I think we're going to hit more threes tomorrow. We're probably going to see closer to 15 to 18 threes made. But I do not see us stopping Brooklyn defensively, especially with 2 guards, with Kyrie and James Harden, and then you have KD in the front court. I mean, I don't see us without Jimmy, without Avery Bradley. Iguodala is not going to do. Iguodala is in 2015 Iguodala. So it's not going to be enough to stop them. So I do think we're going to score more points, but I do think we come out with an L tomorrow.
So I want to acknowledge one of Adam's many comments. He said, Jonathan is the only grown-up here. For your information, Adam, I was trying to be a grown-up, and you made them play that video and took the show off the rails. Okay?
Appreciate the $2, Adam.
So I'm trying to bring it back around. Jonathan may be the youngest, but he's certainly the only adult in the room. See? Roy got a ton of bruises to cry like that. Bro, see? Okay. For tomorrow.
And then the Heat want to open up their arena next week for season ticket holders like myself to make that trip. Nah, man, I'm perfectly good.
And they have coronavirus sniffing dogs.
Yeah,
coronavirus sniffing animals now. Since when?
Yeah, what does COVID smell like?
Seriously,
that's
melanin.
No, thank you. I'm gonna roll over to next week.
But yeah, as for tomorrow, I honestly think the Heat win that game. And it's
what world does that happen, Royal?
The world where we win a game, lose a game. Like that's, I mean,
hey, it's not impossible. It's not impossible to win tomorrow. We've seen this team up for those games.
They dropped 2 games to the Cavs. Somebody said they thought I was 18 years old. Thank you.
You should see his hairline.
See, look, there we go right now, bro. Sometimes I love the optimism. No, realistically, I'm never going to see the end of that video. But the reason that I believe Miami can win tomorrow is for the same reason. Brooklyn plays as little defense as we do. Like they don't play defense at all. So I believe everybody's going to have an opportunity to score. Even though he doesn't often use it, Bam definitely has an advantage versus the corpse of DeAndre Jordan. Like, because that man has lost several steps. But, I mean...
Interesting stat about tonight's Nets Cavaliers game. The Cavaliers didn't even shoot very well. The Cavaliers shot 51% from the field goal, right? From field goal range total, which is good. But they only shot 32% from 3. They had 32 free throw attempts. Oh, wow. So, obviously, Brooklyn fouls a lot.
Yeah. And they can't guard people like Colin Sexton, which, unfortunately, we don't have a Colin Sexton.
What? Kendrick Nunn?
Oh, yeah.
Mo Harkless behind the scorer's table?
Oh, my God.
Let me see Gabe Vincent take off tomorrow and drop like 30.
I can unmute myself. I'm a producer.
So, speaking of Gabe Vincent, as Manny and Michael fight for supremacy, for producer supremacy, do we see a different rotation come out tomorrow?
I mean, unless we have players coming back from injury, I don't see it happening. You know what I mean? I think just keeping things together, we might keep it the same. I mean, but after a loss like tonight, who knows? He might throw KZ back in the starting lineup, and we might see that happen. I would like to see KZ try to guard Durant just for the hell of letting him grow. You know what I mean? Like, let him get cooked. Let him get cooked and have those learning experiences, because that's what you got to do when you're first in the league. You got to get cooked.
He's not going to get cooked, though. He's baby Giannis.
He got cooked by Brandon Ingram. I know, but
baby Giannis. He's going to be fine.
I'm just saying, if he does, that's part of the growing process, But hopefully he don't get cooked.
You had it right the first time. He's going to get his ass flamethrowed out there, bro. Like, that's just the reality.
What contender that doesn't, though?
That's what I'm saying. So, like, KZ is no different. What about who's going to guard? Let's do something fun. Let's talk about matchups. Who's going to guard KD? Who's going to guard Kyrie? And who's going to guard Harden?
put Bam on KD. You put Iguodala or whatever wing on Harden, and then you just pray to God that Kyrie misses. That's all you could do with that.
No. You see, you put Max Strus on KD.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that body will get in his way. Okay.
Right.
You
Okay.
bring in Mo Harkless to guard Harden.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And then you get Chris Silva to guard Kyrie Irving.
They
right?
will
Really
have
not letting
95 points combined.
in the first quarter.
I would feel more confident if Avery Bradley was at least playing.
Oh man,
right?
would
Like,
we all?
Like, because I know that when he's on the court, he's shutting one of them down. Like, I'm good. I don't have to worry.
Hey, he's a big piece of this team, man.
And you start to realize
I would have never
before he
thought that,
doesn't play.
Michael. I would have
You
never
wouldn't?
thought.
Oh no, I knew he was going to be good from the moment I saw that team.
Yeah,
Listen, I was there.
How much importance he is when it comes to the defensive side of our team.
I was there in Orlando. There's nobody on this team that could stop a guard other than Avery Bradley and Bam, right? But you don't want to put Bam on a guard. It's a waste of time, right? You need him on somebody else,
right?
But outside of Avery Bradley, I watched Evan Fournier just destroy us. I had to walk out of that stadium knowing I got beat by a Frenchman. It's not a good feeling. All right.
Yeah, so they're talking. I mean, we're talking about who these people are going to guard, but realistically, who are these folks going to guard? like we're going to have Duncan Robinson on either Harden
your
or
best
Durant.
bet is, in my opinion, your best bet is going to be zone because nobody in man is going to keep up.
Well, yeah, they're going to play. Royal Cry for real sound like a dinosaur. Cry from Jurassic Park. Okay.
Why'd you have to read it out loud? Everybody can read on the screen. When you when you make PowerPoint presentations, do you put the entire text on the screen and then just read it all off? Is that you wrote?
Okay, so when I put PowerPoints on the screen, I paraphrase. Okay, I put keywords up there so I can say what I want, and I don't have to adhere to a script. I don't like that.
He's reading the rubric right now as we talk. He's like, do not read word to word from the PowerPoint.
He's the kind of guy that would read a script and then say, I've had a bad day. Sigh. You're not supposed to read that part, Royal.
Bro, I forgot what I was going to say now, bro. The hell what you got? Bro, I don't remember, bro. It's over. It's gone. Like, it's gone. What do you guys want to talk about? Welcome to the roast of Royal.
And we have none of us in here have any know as to when those players are going to be back.
Yeah, I think it's COVID related. So I mean, it's as long as they trace it, you know what I mean? Which could be a week and it could be 2 weeks. Like, we don't know. Like,
listen,
I mean, Katya did something to Tyler's neck. I can't even.
I honestly believe that Jimmy has COVID and nobody released it yet because we got people to come back from the COVID.
Hey, next week.
Yeah, next week. But they come back from the COVID tracing, and by then Jimmy will have been out for 2 weeks. So, I honestly believe that's what it is. They're just not releasing it. And Avery Bradley definitely has COVID.
Well, let me ask you this, because Jimmy was, oh my God. Got a side duck.
Listen, that Detective Pokemon movie, you would have been a great side duck.
Slide him in Pokemon 3, the movie.
Oh my God!
Give us your best side duck. Give us your best side duck right now.
Huh?
Give us your best side duck imitation.
Oh, side duck. Yo, can we please leave this to basketball? Don't turn this into foolishness.
That was really good, man.
That was fantastic, bro.
That was really good.
Bro, that was amazing.
We're gonna have to clip that now. We're gonna clip
See?
that one.
Oh, don't worry. Some of these fuckers in these comments will have it for you in minutes. They are ruthless. Somebody's Christopher Jenkins. That's it. I'm out. See you later, Christopher.
That's Royal. Same hairline too.
Oh, Manny, that's grade A producing. Was that Manny?
Bro? That was Michael.
My bad, Michael. Grade A producing, brother. It's two of y'all in here. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, here.
Oh man,
so I don't get fined.
Right. I look like a shiny side duck. Whatever. Jonathan, it sounds like you were going to make a really good point before they interrupted you with the foolishness.
I forgot what I was going to say.
See, you interrupted it with the foolishness because you asked me to like. Somebody says, "Please do it again." No, I would not. Y'all got to watch the Clutch Corner.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be professional on the post game, guys. So if you want to see me,
Yo, Roy would never be a gold duck. He's wearing a lot of blues. Hopefully he can't do it.
I'll never be a gold duck. Jeez. So you said I'm the side duck from Detective Pikachu?
Bro,
Nah, you're Misty Psyduck.
You guys really watch this shit?
What? Pokemon?
Yeah.
I watch Pokemon. I watch Pokemon all the time growing up.
Bro.
I still play Pokemon Go. I ain't ashamed.
My
Pokemon
girlfriend still
Go?
plays the games. Like, I still play the game. Shit.
Yeah.
First of all, the rawest Pokemon is Pokemon Blue and Red.
Okay, that's not it. That's not the debate here. Obviously, Royal.
Oh,
This is what Kendrick Nunn does to us, though. I'm gonna blame this all on Kendrick Nunn. When Kendrick Nunn plays well, we lose, and then we start talking about Royal being side duck. This is Kendrick's fault.
You see what Clutch did? Clutch did. If y'all look at that comment, that's usually what Clutch does to me in the private chats. He tell me, "All right, Royal, close us out." He feel the show go off. But yeah, so I think that is a good idea. All right, so I want to thank Manny for being a producer extraordinaire as well as jumping on. Thanks, Michael. Thank Jonathan Ramacon for joining me. We'll be right back tomorrow for hopefully a win, but more than likely.
Give us a Ludicolo before you head out of here.
I don't know. I'm only 150. The first 150. That's all I got for you.
Just go into YouTube after this and look up Ludicolo Detective Pikachu and just watch that clip. Okay.
Okay. I'll practice my Ludicolo for the Clutch
I'll have
Corner.
it for next Clutch Corner.
Somebody say I just caught a wild royal. It was sassy in nature. Yo, whatever, bro.
You don't even know about the natures because you only played the first gen.
Oh my god.
Whatever, bro.
I'm gonna EV train my Royal. Like,
hey, bro,
Listen,
you gotta use rare candies to
it.
get me to a 99 instantly, bro.
This is why we do it. We don't do it for the real garbage talk. We have to talk about actual stuff like Pokemon. Okay?
Absolutely.
Like that is all you can do.
But yeah, thank you guys for joining us on the stream. Thank you guys for joining the comment section, making this more lit than it would have been with just us talking. We'll catch you guys tomorrow for a post-game show and catch you guys on Tuesday for a Clutch Corner. The show is brought to you by Seltzer Mayberg, Manscaped, Shave Your Balls. Go ahead,
I got
John.
one thing to say before we head out. Tropical Bay IPA, that too. Conor McGregor's fighting tomorrow. We have an MMA show on the channel with me and Alpha Artiaga. We're breaking down the Conor McGregor fight against Dustin Poirier, Michael Chandler versus Dan Hooker, and all your news coming up. We do that every week about Thursday, so we got Fight Week on 5 with Conor McGregor.
Absolutely. Great plug, and I think that's a wonderful way to end the show. So good night, everybody. Y'all have a great one, and we'll see you tomorrow.
One more time, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for Sai.